Welcome to Buzzard's Corner of Love. Think outside the box, where you can support an organization, angels. You can think outside the box and clean out your closets as springtime is coming. You can also think outside the box and give away old clothes that no longer fit you. Pass it on, pass it forward, pay it forward. You can also do that as well. And so much more. I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves where we uplift and inspire you to become who you truly came here to be. Angels, we're going to wrap up our theme of the month with self-empowerment and boundaries, and we're going to wrap that theme up with the empowerment tools that we promised that we would give you. In the chat below, we have a link that has your spiritual wellness toolkit. You can click on that link and it will take you to your wellness toolkit, and you'll get much more information over there with that link. And we also have buzzardscorner.com, our link in the chat as well. If you'd like group coaching, we've now started group coaching. And group coaching is beneficial, angels, because it's accountability. You have a group of people that you both can take on personal responsibility. You have support and love. So if you and some friends would like some counseling, we now offer group counseling. You can check that out at buzzardscorner.com. That's BUZZARDSKORNER, Buzzards Corner with a K.com. We also put up our posting over there. There are no shortcuts. It goes hand in hand with our theme of boundaries and self-empowerment as we wrap up this month. So let's get started. Grab your favorite beverage, sit back and relax and enjoy. And angels, I've got nice cold ice water today. Oh, it tastes so good. So good. So, knowing that we're going to wrap up this month with self-empowerment and boundaries, we're going to talk about the benefits of setting boundaries. And angels, when we talk about the benefits of setting boundaries, we're talking about the 8 steps to personal well-being, knowing that you can do your journalism, you can do your journaling. You can also have your self-health and wellness as well, angels. There's also knowing that you can exercise. These are all great personal well-being. Relationship-wise, knowing that in relationships you can say no, that you can stand your ground, that as you cement your relationship with spirit, you're able to stand your ground in relationships with others. Knowing that as you take care of yourself and your well-being, then you really truly can take care of others and their well-being, yet it starts with self first. So we've learned throughout this month to trust, to have faith. We've learned to set boundaries. We've learned to stand and say no. And with these self-empowering tools, angels, tools such as meditation, tools such as journaling, tools such as reading books, tools such as getting on YouTube and looking at different videos and ingesting that positive well-being energy. And it will give you self-empowerment, and you will be able to set your boundaries. Reading up on information about boundaries. Like we said, we put in the chat below a link for you to go in deeper wellness, health and wellness with a wellness toolkit for you if you'd like to take advantage of that. Put in the chat below, share with us your thoughts, what it is that you like to renew or refresh as springtime comes into the air. Comes in next month, actually, angels, which our show will be focused on, and our theme next month is rebirth and renewal. Yet back to here, the 8 steps of personal well-being, knowing that you can have these 8 steps of personal well-being, and when you do so, you are able to allow yourself to have peace and quiet. You're able to allow yourself to be creative in the creative energies. You're able to allow yourself to actually let go, relax, and be still and know that God is, I am, we are one. And I tell you, angels, when you're able to walk through life with ease and grace, it makes it a lot easier for you to move through the circumstances and situations that you may like. And when you're relaxed and when you're walking through life in a way of well-being, when your body is healthy and you personally feel well in your mind and in your consciousness, then you can have a happy life. Feeling well in your mind and consciousness, angels, is being able to do your affirmative thinking, to change your thinking, to think on thoughts of good things, to focus, to start your day off with positive vibrations of life, knowing that we are all vibrational energy anyways, and it's coming into alignment with that vibrational energy that helps us be well and have that well-being, a sense of well-being. Also, knowing that you can allow yourself to be, how should I say? I don't want to say more out there, but allow yourself to be more forward, to allow yourself to speak up for yourself, to stand up for yourself, and don't wait for somebody else to say something. What is happening in this world today is saying, do we choose to have action? Are we going to stand up and speak for ourselves? Are we going to mold and shape and create life how we choose it to be? Or are we just going to go along with what is happening and flow with negative energy and angels? That just isn't a way to live. And how do you feel when you're flowing with negative energy? Do you feel happy? Are you safe and secure? Are you excited about life? No. You're the exact opposite. You're fearful, you're scared, you're afraid, you don't know what's going to happen next, you have a sense of lack, and all of that. Yet that isn't where we're moving to. We are moving into a space of positive energy. And the only way for you to get there is to work on your personal well-being. What does that say to you? What is personal well-being to you? What does that mean to you? Put it in the chat below. Share with us. Put an emoji, a heart, something. Share with us. Let us know what that means to you. And let me just take a moment, angels, just one moment here, as I ask you to write down this question. Knowing that springtime is coming into play, what is the one thing that you would like to see yourself be, do, or have in newness? And you may ask, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by in newness? In recreating yourself anew, in having personal well-being and newness. What is it that you would like to see yourself be, do, or have in that space? I know you know it. I know you do. There is emotional well-being. There is physical well-being. There's intellectual well-being. There's environmental well-being, financial well-being, occupational well-being. Angels, shall I go on? And of course, spiritual aspects of well-being. So where in your life, overall, personal well-being, where do you see yourself next month? In what space and place do you see yourself in? For physical wellness, we say focus on your body, exercise, drink plenty of water, get outside in nature. It is beneficial for you. Also, for social wellness, how often do you get outside of your house and socialize with others outside of the computer, text, or phone? I noticed one thing for me, and this is a personal story. I secluded myself and didn't engage with the world for a couple of years, angels. And I was going through those health challenges at the time. I shared that with you when I had open heart surgery last year. Yet prior to having that open heart surgery, I was going through a lot of health challenges and being out of breath. Yet I still continued on. I still did my shows, etc., so on. Yet I secluded myself from the world, and I didn't allow myself to engage with the world. And because I didn't allow myself to engage with the world, I felt, quote unquote, alone, even though I knew I am never alone and I am always connected to source. Yet it's engaging with the world and getting out there and having that social wellness that allows us to know that we have support, that we aren't alone, and that others do care about us. So social wellness is important. And we're not talking about going out to bars and things of that nature. We're talking about having positive relationships with people that you can laugh with and have joyful experiences with, that you can talk with, that you can confide in, that you know who's got your back, that you can lean on in a time that you may need them. And that, angels, is social wellness. That's when you know you can go out and socialize in the world, and come back home and feel that you aren't alone. Because let me tell you something. Since I have been in this space that I moved into this year, and after going through all that health and illness and whatnot, and having my open heart surgery and recovering from that, I am now back engaging with the world. And because I am now back engaging with the world, I can feel the difference in my confidence in who I am and how I speak and how I act when I was disengaged and when I'm engaged. And when I'm engaged with the world, angels, I feel happier. I'm more content. Life is easier. And when I was disengaged with the world, I was angry. I was secluded. I was in the woe is me consciousness, and it's just a totally different feeling. So, what do you choose as springtime comes? How would you like to show yourself this spring? Intellectual wellness. How many of us have intellectual wellness? Do you even know what that is? It has to do with our thinking and reaffirming your thinking or regrooving your thinking from lack and limitation to more than enough, to knowing that we are connected to the source always and that the source can never, ever let us down. And in knowing that the source can never, ever let us down and that we are connected always and never separated, then there is no feeling of lack in anything. And angels, it was really interesting because on Sunday, I personally witnessed the cycle of giving. I gave out, I watched it come right back around to the person that gave it to me. And they didn't know about it. They didn't have a clue. And at the time when I received it from them, I didn't know that it was going to go back to them. Yet I witnessed that cycle of giving and receiving, and it really does work. Intellectual well-being is very important because when you're able to be intellectually well in your mind and your consciousness, then you can create whatever it is that you choose and believe that you feel you can have in your life. Environmental wellness. How many of us focus on creating and maintaining a healthy and supportive environment, both physically and socially? That's important to have a positive environmental wellness. What is your environment like? My environment is one of peace, quiet. I don't have company in my home, and I made it that way because I value the energy that is in this space. And so I've set my boundaries with that, and I will meet people out or at their places. Yet having people in this space is something that I don't choose. Yet it's in my environment, and because my environment is sacred to me and it is so peaceful, that's a wellness aspect for me here in this space. What about you? Do you have a space in your home or outside or anywhere in your environment where you can just stand and be or sit and be for a few minutes and be quiet? It's very important to have that environmental wellness, physically, outside or inside, and also socially, having it with friends, family, associates, etc., so on. Financial wellness. We all talk about money. We all talk about how much money we need and how we'd like to have so much money back. And we play the lottery and we do this and we do that. All of these things to receive money. Yet financial wellness involves managing your finances responsibly. Do you manage your finances responsibly? I remember for me, this is a personal story, angels. I was 18 years young, just now getting out on my own. This is back in Michigan when I lived in Michigan. And I was just getting out on my own. And just before I moved out of my parents' house, I received a card in the mail from American Express. So I received that, didn't think much about it, moved out of my parents' house, was in my first apartment. I opened up that mail, and there it was. American Express said, "You have been approved for an American Express card, unlimited amount." And that's all I had to see at 18 was unlimited amount. Honey, I tell you, it was less than a month, maybe two. I had over $30,000 worth of debt on that American Express card. They didn't tell me, or I didn't realize that you had to pay all that off at once. Yet you do with American Express. Well, and long story short, I ended up filing bankruptcy, and my father helped me do that at 18 years young. And I made a promise to myself then. I'm now 54, and I said to myself at 18, if I can't buy it in cash, I don't need it. And I've never had another credit card since then, and I've never allowed myself to go beyond my budget. So my whole point in telling you that story, Angels, is financial wellness and being financially responsible is important. How do you spend your money? Where do you spend your money? Actually, as I become more financially aware, I've opened up and seen, okay, Heather, do you really need to spend your money here or do you need to spend your money there? I've been investing more and more money into my business instead of socially societal things or things of that nature. I've been investing money in my clothing and redoing my wardrobe for professional speeches and talks that we will be doing. And so it's just moving and grooving and just deciding where to find and spend your money at and being financially responsible, budgeting, saving, having a savings account, making good decisions. Occupational wellness, Angels. It relates to finding satisfaction and meaning in your work, achieving a good work-life balance, and feeling valued in your career. Do you feel valued in your career? Do you feel that you even matter there? Do you like what you do? Or are you doing it just to get a paycheck? I will tell you this. We here at Buzzard's Corner of Love have been fortunate enough to be able to stand here and have this operation of Buzzard's Corner of Love YouTube and our win-win-win channel on TV, and to have our virtual stages and speaking and moving into that arena, and to have our group coaching packages and to have our group coaching sessions and things of that nature. We're just now standing in this, and this isn't work. This is something I love to do. And because it's something that I love to do, and I said at 18 I would give back when I got into this space, which I am. This isn't work to me. And because it isn't work to me and it's something that I love, Angels, the universe can only can reward me for that. So my whole point in saying this to you is, are you doing something that you love? Are you living your purpose? Do you even know what your purpose is? It's important because this planet needs you, especially in this time that we are in, and we are shifting and moving. And as we shift and move, Angels, the earth needs your vibrational energy, your love, your care, what it is you have to offer, the gifts that Spirit gave you before you got here on this planet. Share in the chat below what you think those gifts are. And spiritual wellness. That is one thing we at Buzzard's Corner of Love focus on continuously. It's spiritual wellness, Angels, which involves exploring your beliefs, your values, and your purpose in life, and finding a meaning and connection beyond the material. And when you are able to actually feel happy about life, whether you have materialistic items or not, then you know you are in the space where true happiness is. Now, I'm not saying not if you don't have a roof over your head or food in your stomach. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is, if you can be happy without having that next dress or that next activity or that next materialistic object, if you can be happy within yourself where you are right now, then you can have happiness and you can have spiritual wellness and you can have a different way of life in the future. So it's your beliefs and your values. Do you know your beliefs and your values? That's one thing that I've worked with on myself for years, is my belief system. I know my beliefs and I know my values. So much so that just the other day, I had a situation with a potential business person, and I chose to walk away from that because they weren't in alignment with my values. And because they aren't in alignment with my values, then that isn't a good fit for who I am. So knowing that those are the 8 steps of personal well-being for your relationship. What about empowerment, Angels? How do you empower yourself? Do you do your daily walks? Do you listen to positive music? Do you listen to YouTube casts such as mine and others on a consistent basis? Do you allow yourself to do deep breathing exercises, to do sound bath meditations? These are all tools that empower you to help you get a stronger connection to the source. And it is through using these tools, angels, that you build your relationship with spirit. I guarantee it. I am one that has used these tools. So in knowing that there are no shortcuts in life, and knowing that you have to, that you can't go under and you can't go around it, you have to go through it. And by going through it, angels, it's called feeling your way through life. And if you choose to feel your way through life, I guarantee you will allow yourself to break free from chains of disempowerment. You will allow yourself to break free of chains of unforgiveness, of chains of resentment, chains of anger. I am a living example of it. Yet I had to do the work. So if you're willing to do the work for yourself because you're worth it, then you too can break free of all negativity and allow yourself to stand in your personal power. And this is self-empowerment and boundaries. This was our theme of the month, self-empowerment and boundaries. So the link in the chat below, angels, gives you an in-depth toolkit to help you continue with your well-being. Our link in the chat also gives you an opportunity to check out our blog posting. There are no shortcuts. Check out our website. Check out our visual version of our checkered past. Check out our group coaching packages, our one-on-one sessions. Angels, we've got a lot of information over there on BUZZARDSKORNER.com to help you move through life. We are here to uplift, inspire, and encourage you. Yet it is up to you to do the work. So as we close out this theme of the month of of self-empowerment and boundaries, I ask you, in what ways, shape, and forms have you allowed yourself to stand in your truth, to see your faith in action, to know that you've set your boundaries, to stand in your self-empowerment, and to be able to say no or to say yes without explaining, and using these spiritual tools or these self-empowerment tools that we've given you here today in your life? Watch your life change. I guarantee it. It will happen, angels. It's the only thing that can happen because the law of attraction is consistent. What you put out there is what comes back to you. So, in knowing that, we are going to wrap up this month with a yes and an amen. Because I know that as I've spoken with you about self-empowerment and boundaries, in truth, I've really only spoken to myself. As I've spoken to you about faith and trust and believing, I've spoken to myself. And I feel that change within me that is occurring. And next month, angels, our theme of the month is rebirth and renewal. And we're going to be talking about rebirthing and renewing as we move into the springtime, cleaning out your closet, cleaning out your consciousness. Clean out your consciousness, catch up with yourself. That's the name of our show. Yet our theme of the month is rebirth and renewal, and we're catching up with ourselves as we step into springtime. Angels, we are grateful and appreciative of having you with us. Please put any comments, suggestions, emojis in the chat below. Share with us your thoughts, your feelings. Like and subscribe to our channel, for this is your community as well. In the meantime, in between time, angels, like we said, you can go to BUZZARDSKORNER.com, BUZZARDSKORNER, BUZZARDSKORNER with a K.com. Sign up for your monthly email. Don't miss anything that's happening at Buzzard's Corner of Love. We will be doing a talk in May We'll be on a virtual stage online. We'll bring you more information as that becomes available. And we'll also be doing a talk in June, and we'll bring you more information as that becomes available. As we've stepped onto the virtual stages, angels, we are grateful and appreciative of that. So we look forward to talking with you more. And until next time, angels, I am Heather Buzzard, a Buzzard's Corner of Love. Think outside the box, bringing people back to themselves.